Okay, great. So we are going to talk about the three vital behaviors as a new coach. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here and bring up the three vital behaviors. Okay, so these are the three that we're going to cover. So what I was saying is that really these three vital behaviors are the three pillars of what it means to be a coach in this business. And those are being a product of the product, invite, and personal development. And depending upon where you're at in the business, they might take on different types of meaning. So we're going to cover this really through the lens of a new coach. So let's talk about the first one first, which is being a product of the product. And this is something that it's really what it sounds like. It's essentially like just being committed to living a healthy lifestyle. So as a fitness coach, it is not about like striving for perfection where we have to worry about our diet has to be immaculate, our fitness level has to be top notch. It doesn't mean we have to be at whatever goal weight we are or whatever we want to be or whatever size we want to be. It's really just all about being committed to living out your journey and your commitment to being healthy. So it's really fully embracing the experience. And by doing that, we're using the products so that we can really walk the talk and incorporate them into our life. And this can take on like many different things. Like it could be drinking Shakeology every day. It could be like really, really using the programs and doing the at-home workouts. It could be using the performance line. I think as a new coach, it's really finding what products really speak to you. Like one of the things that I know I had to figure out is what are the workout programs that I just really like? Not that the others aren't good, but that I felt good about, like, I loved it so much that I couldn't stop talking about it to my friends. Like, it's
Right.
finding that particular program or product that works for you.
Right.
Like one of the things that I've been talking to everybody about lately is the new cafe latte flavor of Shakeology.
Right.
I mean, man.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking
Have
about
you
that
tried
too.
it?
It's so good. It's so good. Yes. It is like, I describe it as a coffee fribble from Friendlies. Like it's that good.
Wow.
Um, I bought one of the 24 packs and have just been talking to people about it and giving away samples. And my box is gone. I've had it for like a week and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's something that for me lately that I have found. But one of the other programs that I don't know anything about, like, is the new Hammer and Chisel. But there might be another coach that loves that program that I could tap into to talk to my challengers about it if that's something that they really wanted to do. It's not about like having to be an expert in all the different programs or really own everything. It's
Right.
just finding what works for you and
Mhm.
then, talking about it. A couple of things that I did want to point out is that in order to remain an active coach, there is a certain level of personal volume that is required to be active. And at the coach level and Emerald coach level, it is $50 in personal volume. So that's essentially, like, to give you an example, Shakeology is 90 points of volume. 50 points of volume could be, I think there's a couple of items in the performance line or one of the Shakeology boosts or even trying out one of the new DVD programs.
Is that
So
monthly?
what's that?
Is that monthly?
Monthly. Yep, monthly. So if you're on like Shakeology Home Direct, it's kind of all done for you. You're already met, you've already met that. So that's just something to think about. And of course, the higher you move up in rank, then the higher the requirement is for that personal volume to remain active.
Right.
So any questions about that one?
None for me.
Okay.
Alicia?
Alicia?
So if I bought like 75, points or whatever, would I be a Ruby then? Or is it?
Nope, that's just what it's required when you get to that level to maintain your active status. So, so for example, like I'm an emerald working to become a ruby. So I just have to make sure once I get to that ruby status, I have to think about, okay, am I then bringing in that $75 worth of volume?
Okay.
Or am I purchasing that $75 worth of volume? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so just as an active coach, it's that 50 until you hit that next level.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Invite, invite, invite. And I'll tell you guys, this is probably the one that intimidated me the most because I am not a salesperson. I honestly, like, I'm an introvert at heart. Like, I'm one of those people that I tend to be pretty quiet. Like, my husband's the social one. But yet, what I've learned about inviting and what I love about Beachbody and their philosophy and our Team Believe in particular, is that it's not about, we're not in it to sell anything. All we're doing is sharing what it is that we love. And so inviting takes on a whole new meaning. Like, is it sharing, it's really about like sharing what it is that you're doing. What's this health and wellness journey that you're on, and sharing that with people. The second bullet I really love, I heard this from Cassia last night in her training that she did on the Power Hour. She said that, rather than think about invite people to try the products, invite people into your life. This is a relationship business. You're really just trying to bless people in a way that it just makes their lives better. So when I think about striking up conversations with people from that lens, I feel so much better and at ease about this whole invitation process. And I can share with you guys, I just recorded, I'm going to post it in Team Believe in a little bit. I use this system that tracks my conversations with folks, like who I invite. And my invitation could be as simple as, I just did one a couple of minutes ago. There's this girl in my body pump class who I haven't seen for a while. She just started a new job. And my one invite was to reach out to Julie and say, hey, Julie, missing you in body pump. How's the new job going? I'm building a relationship. And then over time, like, hey, if the conversation comes up about what it is that I'm doing, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But it's like continuing to have that conversation so that it can happen naturally and it doesn't feel, I've always heard people say, if it feels icky to write it, then it's icky to receive it. If you're feeling like, oh, this is uncomfortable, this doesn't feel right to me, then don't do it. Like don't push, the business or the products in somebody's space. So it's all about sharing, not selling, and really pouring into relationships. One of the other things is really thinking about like expanding your network. Since I've been doing this, I tried joining a couple of other groups on Facebook with like running groups. I've tried healthy eating groups. I've tried moms who run groups, like just different ways to reach out and start to befriend like-minded people. And that's been a way to establish some connections and build up friends. Gosh, over time, I've really built up my friends network and I use Facebook as my mode of reaching out to people. Other coaches use different types of social media. Some are more comfortable with Instagram. Some just do text, phone calls, email. They don't even use social media. So it's all, what works best for you. So the goal is to really try to reach out to a minimum of 3 new people a day. And by reach out, that could be a friend request. That could be like the example that I shared about, my friend Julie. Hey, miss you, Julie. How's the new job going? Or it could be, um, hey, saw that you are running a 5K. How's your training going? What are you using to fuel? Something like that. So inviting doesn't have to be this kind of weird thing. It's just, think of it in terms of like building relationships. And, I love that piece, inviting people into your life. So what questions do you have about this one?
I think you already answered it, to be honest. Initially I was reading through some things, and I've been reading online the past couple of weeks, and it was talking about inviting people and really trying to meet that quota every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you've already made it feel a lot more natural with it just being like a friend request and just posting something on someone's wall, or just, those lists of interactions, at least initially, being more natural. I think that's one of the things that I had fear about. I didn't want to go out there and instantly be fake and be like, oh, here's this amazing product. However, by the way, I've only used it for like 3 days and I don't completely believe in it yet. I've seen friends who've made, huge transformations. And so it just felt really like kind of fake to me, which isn't me, you know. Just hearing what you just said, Tammy, just makes me feel better about it already. And knowing that I'm already kind of doing those things naturally anyway, with just making more relationships and networking and friend requesting people and so forth, it feels like it will probably be a lot more natural.
Yeah.
Just in hearing you say that. So
good. Yeah, absolutely. Like at this point, right? Like, hey, I've only been taking Shakeology for 3 days, but hey, like just even the excitement of like, I just started this, like, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but you want to try it, or try it with me, we're not all of us, like, just be authentic, like, and be who you are, Yeah, for sure. How about you, Alicia? Any questions on this one?
Nope.
Okay.
It's still a struggle for me to invite, but
yeah,
it'll keep getting easier.
What's that?
It's been a struggle for me to be like inviting people for this and sharing, but hopefully it'll keep getting easier the more I do it.
Yeah. I always think about like even just setting aside doing this as a business, just kind of thinking to myself, okay, like who haven't I talked to in a while that I would just love to reach out to and just say hi. I reached out to someone yesterday. It was one of my son's his best friend's ex-wife, who I haven't talked to in a couple of years. And it was her birthday yesterday. And rather than post something on her wall, I sent her a message and I'm like, hey, Brianna, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I just want you to know I think of you often and I hope you're well, and just give little Bentley a kiss for me. And that's it. That's it. Just love on people. You can do that. You have a heart. You have a big heart, Alicia. You could do that.
Yeah, gotta put myself out there a little bit more.
Yeah. If you get a chance, I posted something in Team Fit and Free. It was a little recording from Maria something or other. What's that?
Was it the flashlight?
Yes, the flashlight.
I just watched it beforehand. Love that. Yeah, your attention's like a flashlight. Shine it out on others and you lose sight of your own fear. It was a good 5 minutes, 47 seconds. Thank you.
Yes.
Solid, definitely.
Yeah. Watch that, Alicia, because when we think about like and have the focus on ourselves, she uses the analogy of the flashlight. You can only see yourself, and nobody looks good with just the flashlight in their face, right? But when we turn the flashlight to somebody else, all you can see is them. You can't even see yourself. So when we focus that attention on that other person, it takes that, like we're not even focused on ourselves.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that.
Yeah, check it out. I think you'll really like it. All right. So let's talk about the last one. So personal development. So this is really all about like just investing in yourself. So you're doing that health-wise because you're being a product of the product, but this is all about like investing in your development as a coach and as a leader. So there's many different ways that we can do this, and you just have to find like what works for you, right? So there's a ton of different resources out there. We have, this call that we're doing right now is considered personal development because it's about something that we're learning. The Team Believe calls that happen, the Team Iron recordings, Platinum Presenters is another one. The National Wake Up Call that happens on Monday mornings at 11. That's available after the fact on podcast.
Oh, nice. I didn't know it was.
Yeah,
I just learned about the podcast a couple days ago, and I've been listening to them, and I love them. I mean, they're great. I've only listened to a couple so far, but
yeah. And you'll find that you have like some of your favorite coaches, that your favorite top coaches that you'll start to follow and whatnot. Like the one that just spoke on Monday's call, Brittany Leggett, I've been following for a little while. I like her. I just like her style. Like I just kind of tend to gravitate toward her style versus some of the others, and you'll just find your favorite too. So podcast. So in addition to the Beachbody National Wake Up Calls, a lot of favorites that you're going to hear about are Chalene Johnson. She has one called Build Your Tribe.
I watch her every morning, or I listen to her podcast every morning.
Do you really?
Yeah,
awesome.
That's what I've been. Me too.
She's really good. And what I like about it is she's to the point. She's like 15 minutes. It's not like sometimes if they're like an hour, 45 minutes, it's just unless you have a long drive somewhere, it's hard. So 15 minutes is like a good one. And then of course, there's a ton of books out there. There's so many different lists everywhere that you'll find. I have a couple of personal favorites. One that I read as a new coach was The Compound Effect. I think, Alicia, you read that one too.
Yes.
That one's super good. That's by Darren Hardy. Some of the other favorites out there are, I haven't read it, but GoPro is supposed to be a really good one. Eat That Frog is a really good one. It's whatever it is that you feel like I'm looking for a book right now on relationship building because I feel like that's an area that I want to kind of refine and get really good at. So it's just like whatever topic speaks to you, and how personal development helps us is not only to learn and grow ourselves in this business, because you will. Like I've been doing this for a year now, and how I approach this business is completely different than when I started. But I forget where I was going with that. Oh, but in addition to their own personal development, it's also like that becomes your material too for your posts, So I posted something, I listened to Christine Dwyer this morning, and I posted something, basically like a quote. She talked about transitioning from corporate America into doing your own home-based business. So I picked up a quote from that and I posted it, on social media. It's just a great way to get material. So, so you're encouraged to just try to think. It sounds like you guys are already listening to calls. You're already doing it. So this 20 minutes per day, this is like, bam, you're done. Cool. So those are the 3 vital. Any questions on this one?
I'm curious, in your own experience, you say you've been doing it for a year,
Mm-hmm.
Long term, how much financial value is there, or what's the potential with Beachbody? I mean, I feel like ultimately still it's the mindset, and it's just really believing in yourself and, getting income from many different facets, but what's the potential?
The potential is huge. And so I think I had sent you one of the videos about the company.
I looked at it on my phone while writing a paper. I was like, I'm going to look at this. Tell me what it is.
It is, I can't remember which one I sent you, but there's one by, if you go to YouTube, one of the coaches that I love to watch his videos is Caleb Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's funny. He's quick. He captures your attention, and he's good.
Mm.
So if you check out his video, Caleb Thomas, on the compensation plan,
Mm.
it is super good, and I'll post it on our team page too. But he goes through all the potential. So it's everything from, in addition to like your commission on anything that you sell, there's also challenge pack bonuses. And then once you become an Emerald coach, which is you bring on 2 coaches underneath you, and you'll hear a lot about like your right leg and your left leg. Basically, you're just building your 2 legs in your business, and then kind of it all funnels through those 2. So you become an Emerald coach once you get those 2, and then you start building your volume. Once you start building your volume, you get what's called team cycle bonus. So it's based on the volume of your 2 coaches.
Mm.
So, and then you get leads, and then once you become diamond, there's diamond bonuses, and the potential is huge.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely look for those. And I've saved all the messages you sent me and so forth. Today, I just compiled everything into one email, which I need to print, and I just need to, I need to study up and dive into it now that I'm feeling ready for it.
Good.
So
yeah,
thank
no problem.
you with everything.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem. The one thing that I will say, particularly about like, I just listed a few things here. There is no lack of information.
Mm.
It is almost a little bit overwhelming. There's Team Believe stuff and Team Believe calls, and the things that we're doing as a small little team. And then you've got tons of YouTube videos out there and platinum presenters, and there's so much that I got really, I'll be honest with you guys, I got kind of caught up in all that, and I was like, oh my gosh, all this stuff, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and maybe I should be doing this coach is like top 10 coach, maybe I should be doing that. And I got lost. I just got lost in it. And then I just had to find, okay, Tammy, what's your business, your way? And that's what's so great about this, is that we're in this together. We're helping one another and supporting one another, but it's totally what each of us individually makes it out to be. So any other general questions that you guys have about anything we covered today, or just at this stage of the game?
The only other question I have is, with my account, I got the initial number, and of course, I have my email address, and from there, I'm not sure even how to get on and enjoy the podcasts that are available as being a coach. And then I feel like I saw something that said that I had to go through you possibly to get a number or a password. So just those small logistics, I'm ready to kind of dive in this weekend and play around and familiarize myself with the software and the programs and so forth. And I just want to make sure that I have access to it. And
absolutely. Yeah, there's a couple of things logistically that we should do, like set up your websites, get your website set up so that people can start ordering from you. And then different things like that. What I can do is, if it would be helpful, Megan, is just maybe outline a few things in an email. Here are the 5 or 6 things.
Yes.
Does that work?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Awesome. You're welcome. All right, good. So does this time work for us to kind of touch base each Thursday night, at least for the next few weeks, just to kind of make sure that you guys, I want to make sure you feel like you have a good solid base.
It does with me.
Okay. Is that for you, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I'll double check with Jeannie too, and we will go from there.
All right.
Good deal. Well, you guys know I am here for you. We'll hold these calls, but in addition, email me, send me a message, whatever. I'm here to help. So whatever way I can do that, don't wait. Just shoot me a note, and I will get you what you need.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy.
All right. Thank you both. Enjoy your evening.
Yes, thanks. I'll go check on the kids.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye. Bye, Alicia.
Bye.